Today on Libertas, we're back and we are talking about Assassin Creed Valhalla. Welcome to Libertas Video, the channel dedicated to encouraging, entertaining, and inspiring you through costume and prop builds and reviews. And that's usually what we're doing. We're either building something or we're reviewing something. But we're going to do something a little bit different today, and we're going to talk about Assassin Creed Valhalla because UbiForward just happened, and we got a whole bunch of new details on the game. I'm optimistically cautious about this game, mostly because they keep marketing it as a Viking simulation game. Like, well, hey, this is what it was like to be a Viking, and we really want to show you that, which is awesome because it's the dedication to history. I'm a history nerd, love it. But I'm an Assassin's Creed fan. I've been here from the beginning since Altair. I dove right in day one when the game was released, and I've absolutely loved the franchise. However, we're not getting a lot of Assassin's Creed stuff in these, the marketing campaign. And Darby has already gone out and said, yes, this is filled with Assassin's Creed stuff. This is filled with Assassins, Templars, or Hidden Ones, Order of the Ancients, that type of stuff. It's full in the game. However, it's just taking a backseat in the marketing campaign, which for me as an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm like, I mean, you're not selling me on the game, but clearly Ubisoft knows its target market so much better than I do, and they're marketing towards that. They want to make the most amount of money, and good for them, and I hope they do. But for me personally, as an Assassin's Creed fan, having another Assassin's Creed game being pushed at me that doesn't have anything to do with Assassins, at least on the surface level, it makes me cautious, to say the least. And of course, I know they're doing the hidden blade, on the top of the arm. I'm not a huge fan of it. They have story reasons, so that that gives me reason. I'm willing to be convinced, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm just going to get out there and say that right now. However, we got a whole bunch of information about, what you can do in this game. They're bringing back a whole bunch of old Assassin's Creed techniques like social stealth and, little things like running down and chasing pieces of paper as they're flying away. I mean, it's these little things that are cool. Hopefully they'll be bringing back legacy outfits, but I'm not going to hold my breath because they haven't done that in a while. But the game looks really good. I mean, it's got a darker feel. It's not as, I think, awe-inspiring as Origins or Odyssey in terms of the color palette, but I think it's going to fit the Dark Ages England very well. From what everybody is saying, there are people already out there who have been fortunate enough to play the demo. I wasn't one of them, but I watched some of their playthroughs and their discussions on what they liked, what they didn't like, and of course reviewed everything that Ubisoft had to say at UbiForward. They've got a lot of good stuff going on. There's a lot of positivity in terms of the fighting combat, the story direction and how the dialogue's playing out. Of course, I think, they've learned so much over the past 2 games with this type of system that they're going with more RPG, and I think this is going to be like their capstone of that system. That being said, we also got, because this video channel is a lot about costumes and props and stuff, we got a whole bunch of detailed images and the cosplay reference guide, or creators reference guide as I believe they're calling it now. Access the Animus already released a lot of those images out to the web. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find some more of these images, but just showcases how good Ubisoft is, how talented their artists are in terms of like the modelers and the texturers and just all the stuff that they're going through. So they developed this guide that showcases it, and it's the most detailed one they've had to date, including it's way better than the one they did for Bayek or Alexios or Cassandra. Just looks really, really good. They give you all this close-up detail, especially with the gauntlets. You can see all 360 around it, see exactly what each buckle is supposed to look like, where the stitches are supposed to go. So, I mean, it's such a cool thing for Ubisoft to recognize its fans are very passionate about the franchise, and they just want to give you the most amount of details as possible if you want to go out and make the costume yourself, which, unfortunately for me, I'm not sold on the costume. Like I said, this isn't really big Assassin's Creed stuff, this is seems like a Viking simulation. So Eivor's costume is very Viking inspired, or what Ubisoft is pushing is Viking inspired. So we don't really get the beaked hood or the eagle inspired robes or even the hidden blade underneath the arm. And actually there are some people who found, you know, this clip of where you can see a real assassin, you know, missing ring finger, white robes and everything like that. So that's super cool. Like if they do that costume in the game and you can play that with that as Eivor, I probably am more likely to make a costume like that. Right now, just the way that Eivor's costume is, doesn't sell me. It's not really, you know, just getting my creative juices going. And also I don't know much about Eivor. I'm not connected to the character. So I feel like if you're going to go out and make a costume, you need to either be psyched by the design or you're going to be psyched by the character, and you want to connect with that in some way, and that's going to overflow in this creation process. And the creation process is so in-depth and elaborate and takes so much amount of time. You need that passion, you need that enthusiasm and excitement in order to develop a costume to the end, especially ones that are so detailed the way Ubisoft makes them. So that being the case, unless we hear more about the story and its connection to Assassins, or until after I've played the game, I'm probably not going to be diving into making the costume itself. I'll probably make the gauntlets before the game comes out, just because we have so much reference, and they're pretty interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting challenge, and I'm really excited about that. And you know, hopefully we'll be going through that build process together, so we can share it. You know, but if not, I want to do, you know, more and more of these, you know, type of gauntlets where, you know, I can at least provide some inspiration to anyone who wants to go out there and make something cool, because I think that's something missing in today's society, of us actually getting out there and physically interacting with the world, creating, you know, with our hands, getting dirty, doing some of this cool stuff. Like playing the games are awesome. They've always been an inspiration to me to get out there and make something myself. And so I'm hoping that this channel can inspire you to do the same. So if you're excited about doing that and you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscription button, because there's gonna be more stuff coming. We'll also get talking about some of these gauntlets that I have made, or van braces that I've made. I mean, heck, I've even done an Aragorn van brace at this point, just because, you know, I have fun making leather crafts. So we'll probably get to the Hidden Blade and Eivor's gauntlets or van braces before the game comes out. But in terms of the costume, I'm probably not gonna dive into it unless I really just absolutely love the game. But if you want me to go through this cosplay reference guide and kind of give you an idea of what I would go through, what I would do with the costume, let me know in the comment section below. If that sounds super lame, like a guy just talking about what he would do and is not actually gonna do it, put that in the comment section below too, because, you know, I don't want to make a video that nobody wants to see. So anyway, that's going to do it for this particular video. We'll see you on the next Libertas video.